Test. Testing, testing. Test. Oh boy. Sorry about that. Had to fix this. Oh, hello, everybody. We're back with some Genshin Impact. Oh boy. We're back with Genshin Impact and we'll see what's new today. Dailies. Sorry if it doesn't work. What else we need to do? That one. Try this.
My latest design.
Because sorry about that. Had to fix. Sorry.
Feels like the wind's creeping in from the back of my shirt. And also the front.
Working. So we need to find Albedo. Open it. Cracked.
Where's my key?
That's there. Albedo cracks right. Turn the bar right there is a freezing bar. There he is.
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churros? Isn't he in danger?
Little Cheryl's great.
Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Freeze!
Starting to freeze. That's what that blue bar is on the bottom.
Cool it!
Bar, health bar, or
Dodge
freeze
this.
bar.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly trails unfinished.
Or painting Hill Charles. I thought you were painting the landscape.
What's up with painting hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Very avant-garde.
Wow.
Garde,
Look
or
at the
whatever.
detail. But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly trails anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
Mm-hmm. We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. From another world, correct?
Correct. Are worthy of your scholarly reputation.
Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously.
Your research, I'm not sure I understand.
Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
Alchemy really is a miracle. Alchemy really is miraculous. Really is useful.
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
So I'm an object of research?
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
You're in danger. What's in it for me?
It's possible. But I will do everything in my control to ensure your safety. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Yeah, let's out here. Rosaria.
Albedo
Gross.
and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Back. Be right back. Okay, I'm back.
I
We
didn't know
need
you
to
were
head
such
to
a
test
sucker.
site. I don't want to stand here.
Paimon has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Doesn't seem like you understood. That's why I want to know.
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
You sure know how to keep Paimon on board. You seen through our ulterior motives.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that regard. Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature.
No, not that I'm aware of, but
Fascinating. And this floating child is connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question. Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing.
Oh boy.
It's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you.
I met Paimon on my travels. I caught her with a fishing rod.
Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine.
I don't follow. This seems like a hassle.
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Gotta fight some slimes.
Boring! Cool it!
I'll protect us.
Come at me! Oh, so sorry. Freeze!
Run away.
Scanning. Feast your eyes. Cool it.
Frozen.
Useless.
Thank you for the follow.
Come at me. Scanning. Boring. Useless.
For this slime. Leo. More of these things.
Sight clear.
We call it. Out of the way.
Come at me. Watch and learn. Scanning.
The bone's broken.
Freeze. Boring. Boring.
Okay, so there we go.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready.
Not a scratch, just a bit cold.
Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Will it make my stomach swirl, or will it crystallize in my stomach?
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness. No bodily injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Try not to worry.
That's not hugely reassuring.
Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign.
This is like a health checkup.
Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Okay, so let's go find some,
Sight clear. Dodge this. Don't push your luck. Freeze.
stop it. Stop freezing me.
Oh no!
Your burst.
Sister.
Oh boy.
We'll be frozen in time. Scanning.
Game.
Don't
Come on.
crush my dreams. Come at me.
You can try so. Stop following me. Already set up. Nope, you're still following me. Great. Ow.
Dodge this.
Have to do this.
Let the show begin.
Freeze. Get out of my way. Useless.
Freezing me. Stop throwing slime.
Sight clear.
Bitch.
Good.
Guy. Heal.
Boring.
This little guy because he's doing being dead nasty heater. Trying to freeze. The heater.
Useless.
Dodge this. Boring.
Freezing. Heat. Find a heater.
There's quality here.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Boy. Freezing.
This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes.
Irrational? I would thought even Paimon and I were more closely related.
Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements. A cryoregisvine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world... Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Drink the potion. Drink the potion. Open the inventory. The potion. Potion. Use it. Also, Albedo.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face.
It's burning a bit. You drank this.
You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected. But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once the flow is complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drink some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig.
Out of consideration for the test subject, what a risk to you.
Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance, and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the undesirable variety.
I feel like you're referring to something in particular.
The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. the essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an Eye of the Storm. Have I explained it clearly enough?
Think I'm getting it. Still seems like there's a narrow layer of meaning to your
To
words.
sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was...
Thank
"That's
you,
the
Paimon."
spirit." Mr. Albedo, say something.
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to... prepare something. Wait one moment. If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
Just look around, like he says. Bored. Crafting. There it.
Here comes Albedo. Let's go see him.
Go see Albedo here.
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting?
Can make heads and tails of anything. Things aren't very organized.
Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. You'd be hard-pressed to find an everyday use for them. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment.
I drink my fill, thank
No,
you.
no. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
I just can't do it. Paimon, you give it a shot.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped. Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking, as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation.
Alchemists certainly have active imagination. Or you're just not peckish.
I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising.
Excuse
Anyway,
me.
why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mad scientist stuff.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, It's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just hungry.
True.
Does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves.
I know what you're getting at.
Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna
Let's go
channel
cook.
elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does it get these ideas from, eh?
Salt.
Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
And we'll be right back. Job. Here. Salt. Set back.
Come at me!
You cook the food. Good Albedo.
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. You seem well versed in the science of gastronomy. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
You're Paimon's new favorite. Not often Paimon gets as much attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past. I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look.
Yeah, there should be elemental traces on the lost
yeah!
item.
You could use elemental sight!
See it right here. Wanted. Craft.
This must be electrohypostasis powder! The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it! Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong!
Goodness, you managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep! Guess it does sorta count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning.
If you get to the end, how do I get off of this train?
In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking out from where we're standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing?
No.
And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then?
No.
So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you
No.
see... Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
The location next experiment. There. Here, please.
You want us to jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is.
Bear have a better method.
Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research.
I kind of
Then if you would, please.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, Traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting.
What else have you researched this thoroughly?
I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end
Be right
up
back.
possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease to be noteworthy.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between them?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Intelligence. Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
The ability to appreciate beauty is an important virtue.
I am back. Continue this.
Where's my key? Not again.
Okay, let's head to location. That.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test.
Ren
I'd
testifies.
like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe.
Getting good at these. Where's the will, there's
A
the
tried
way.
and tested adventurer, I see. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Sure.
Crumble! Quake! Crumble! Rise! Quake! Rise! This is order. Crumble! Quake!
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
What's it?
Crumble! Quake! Rise!
Is that the client? Wait.
Here. What's that? So you do that one. Safety. Fire. Anyway, this works.
So many things I never accomplished. Scanning. Boring.
Let's dance.
Come at me.
let the show begin.
Fire. Yes, see. Free. Cool. Fire.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out.
Hey, explaining things.
Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this?
A familiar parent.
To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
See you
Paimon's
soon.
kinda looking forward to seeing the unless you can think.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You! You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor.
What do you mean? He has ulterior
Taking
motives?
orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
Just help him with his research. I don't think he's a bad
It
person.
doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I'm here to be sure, so must have ways of assuring yourself.
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So, Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that.
Is she this sensitive? Go back to the campsite.
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back?
Not really.
Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
That's
You
it.
couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders?
Perhaps.
I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Tevat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
the transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Aww.
It was beautiful. It was so short-lived.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Oh, I haven't withered just yet.
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean, at the time in the future,
Sorry.
if the need arises,
Sure,
can I solicit your help again?
sure, if you want some company, find me.
Wow. Glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything, can I rely on you to stop me?
Lead that one. Go to the... blues.
Kunjun, what do you have there?
Oh, right on time.
Did you find anything?
There's a chunk of ore here. Perhaps there are clues within.
Or, what does it have to do with the disappearance?
Let's find out. I'll give it a try. A moment, please. Okay.
Looks like he's concentrating really hard. What's he up to?
I see 4 men following someone out of the mine. It looks like a child.
A child? What's a child doing in a mine?
I'm not sure.
Also, how did you see anything exactly?
Oh, I don't mean see in the traditional sense. I would appreciate it if what I'm about to tell you remained a secret. It's a little odd. I've never dared to tell anyone before. I can perceive the memories of ore.
Huh?
Perceive? So there's no conjecture at work?
You mean you can put your hand on a rock and boom, it just happens?
I've always sensed that ore contains memories. Sometimes it records events that occur in the surrounding area. All I have to do is touch one and focus my attention, and the memories come to me.
Amazing! So you can find out everything that ever happened there.
It depends on the ore. Some ores have astounding memories. Others, like iron ore and white iron ore, aren't up to much. Their memories are hazy. Core lapis and crystal memories are much stronger. They record more events and in greater detail.
Stone seeing. Fascinating. A rare ability indeed. It was prudent of Uncle Dai to recruit you, Mr. Kunjun.
I'm glad I can be of assistance. Based on what I saw, I believe they followed this path.
This will take us north, away from the mine.
North. Another clue for Uncle Dai. Let's make a note of it.
More clues.
Excuse me, sir. Are you one of the workers here?
Ah, yes. You must be here about the disappearance. Please, find them if you can. I don't know what happened. The weather was gloomy that day. The foreman left with a few men. I stayed behind with the other 4. After a while, I decided to take a break, just to catch my breath. I ended up falling asleep in the shelter inside. When I woke up, there was no sight of them. I'd only just been speaking with them and suddenly they'd vanished. Maybe I'm next.
So the men that were out working disappeared, with the only one left to tell the tale having been asleep in a shelter. Perhaps an accident occurred on site.
What a scary thought. An on-site accident. We should note that down too. We found some clues. Time to report back to Uncle Dai.
Hold on.
You're back. How are the investigations going?
We found 3 clues in the vicinity. First, there are 4 missing pickaxes, yet everyday items are still in their place. This suggests that your men didn't leave of their own accord, but were forced to.
Forced to? But who would kidnap miners?
Who indeed? Second, there were 5 workers at the mine. One of them left the site to take respite. When he awoke, his colleagues had disappeared without a trace. Those who kept working all disappeared. The one who left early emerged safe and sound. It would appear that the incident occurred on site.
Now that you mention it, I recall Bravo saying that he took a break. Could someone have entered the site and simply walked away with them?
This leads me to my third point. Mr. Kunjun here made good use of his, expert techniques to arrive at a conclusion. It was a child that took your men away.
A child? But there are no settlements here for miles around. There's no way a child would have made it over to the mine.
Unlikely as it sounds, that's our conclusion. Your men were following a child.
Where did they go?
We believe that they followed the road north, away from the mine and toward the ruins.
North. Right. I'll rally my men and head in pursuit.
You need
You've
help.
been invaluable to the investigation, but leave the legwork to us. If we set off now and make haste, we might be able to catch them.
Not so fast. The incident occurred 6 days ago. Even if they set out on foot, they will have covered a lot of ground by now.
You're right. New plan. I'll lead my search party over to the settlements further out and make some inquiries. There are only a few settlements around here with lodging for the night. We'll go investigate and see if we can come up with anything. In the meantime, you could keep looking for clues. If we don't see each other, let's reconvene at Wangshu Inn tomorrow evening.
Agreed.
All right. Me and my men will get going.
So, they're gonna talk to the people over at the settlements while we keep investigating here.
Correct.
But there aren't any more clues at the mine. Shouldn't we go north?
Wait. I believe we're missing someone.
Huh? Oh yeah! Where's Kunjun? Paimon bets he's still investigating. Let's go find him.
Fine.
Kunjun, what are you searching for? We're all out of clues. Let's get going.
Ah, apologies. I'm conducting a quick search for my own benefit. I'm looking for a precious stone known as Dragonfall.
Dragonfall.
Never heard of it. Not my idea of expertise.
Dragonfall is often used in forging.
Excuse me.
What use do you have for it?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't recall why I'm seeking it. I've been feeling very absent lately. Name and address aside, I'm having trouble remembering things. In fact, I've been feeling extremely anxious, as if there's something I've forgotten to finish. It's an unpleasant sensation.
Oh, Paimon knows that feeling. When you know you've forgotten something, but you can't remember exactly what it is.
I don't even know where to start with it. I've been aimlessly wandering. That day at the market, I overheard a conversation while I was buying something. They mentioned Dragonfall. It sounded so familiar to me, as if whatever it was I had to do was linked to that stone. So, I decided to look for some. Perhaps if I can retrieve some, I'll remember what it is I have to do.
I see. If I am able to during our endeavor, I will help you look for this stone.
Really? Oh, thank you, Mr. Zhongli. You're too kind.
Think nothing of it.
Shouldn't we get going?
Heading north from the chasm, we'll reach Lingju Pass. If this is indeed the path they chose, there will be traces.
Great! Let's have a look.
Or
Wait! There are tracks here! These must have been left by the miners!
Let us make our way to the end of Lingju Pass. If there are no footprints there, it would suggest that the miners are still within the pass itself. However, if we find new tracks, we can follow them wherever they may lead.
with one of the more clues.
Hey! Footprints!
It would appear that they made their way through Lingju Pass and kept moving.
If we follow their footprints, we should be able to find where they went.
All the footprints.
Let's dance. Ready, steady, go!
Orange
Oh
guard.
no! The footprints end here!
We should inquire with anyone nearby. If the miners came through here, they may well have seen them.
miner? I'm afraid not.
Let's...
So, here, this person.
Hello? Have you seen any miners nearby? About this tall? Full...
Stop bothering me.
Jeez. Whatever. Seen any miners?
It must have been about 4 or 5 days ago. There were a few men who came through here carrying baskets and picks. I guess that could have been them.
Be right back.
Yeah, that's them!
4 or 5 days ago. It appears that they were moving slower than we'd anticipated. Traversing the geography of Lingju Pass must have held them up.
It was so strange. 4 big guys with lifeless expressions. It was like they were in some sort of trance. And there was a child staggering in front of them.
Huh. This child. Did you see what they look like?
I caught a glimpse. Blue hair, short. I think it was a girl. She wasn't smiling. In fact, she looked very serious.
And they took this road?
Yes, they followed it straight from here.
Let's go after them!
Back. Have returned. On the road.
Where's my...
More footprints. There's a person over there!
Help! Please save me!
Is that one of the people we're looking for? Oh, rescue first! Ask questions later.
Useless. Get out of my... Prepare... Freeze.
Scanning!
Dodge this. Don't push your luck. Don't get frostbite. Freeze. Don't push your luck.
Stop it.
Useless. Boring.
Let the show be...
Come at me!
sorry. Dodge this! Ha! Ha! Freeze! Ha!
Those monsters were so aggressive. They must have noticed me walking through. Before I knew it, they were all over me. Thank you all for saving me. My name is Wanyu. I belong to Liyue's Shengyu Hall. I head up our human culture and civilization research.
Huh? You sure you're not a miner?
A miner?
Yeah, we're looking for a group of 4 strong fellas carrying mining equipment.
I think I saw those people.
Really?
Yes. I set off from Nantianmen the day before yesterday, heading for Lingju Pass. About halfway there, I came across some people. A few men and a child.
You can be a bit more specific.
I was in a hurry. I didn't get a good look. I'm afraid I'm not even sure what they looked like. Apologies.
I think that's all we needed to hear. Thank you.
I hope it's useful to... I'd better get going. There's a conference I need to attend. Again, thank you all for your help.
According to this scholar, the miners were heading for Nantianmen.
Can we be absolutely sure that it was the men that we're looking for?
A child with a group of adults. Sounds pretty close to Paimon.
Could easily be in a different group.
But...
Hey, perhaps that rock over there can tell us more.
Aha! Paimon nearly forgot about our secret weapon!
It looks promising. I'll do my best. Huh. It's the same group, all right. They followed this road.
Mr. Kunjun, your stone seeing is something I won't forget in a hurry.
I suppose it is an asset, though I rarely find a use for it. But praise from Mr. Zhongli is high praise indeed.
It's a good thing we brought our Kunjun compass along. We would have lost all sense of direction a long time ago.
You think so? I guess it's been a worthwhile trip then. It feels like we're cracking a criminal case. It's a lot of fun.
Be that as it may, we would do well to keep our guards high. 4 fully grown men in a trance-like state, walking ceaselessly day and night, over hills and mountains, led by a child. This is no ordinary incident.
Oh, you're quite right, Mr. Zhongli. We should have our wits about us.
That's not all. Our scholar was attacked by Geovishap hatchlings, but the level of aggression they exhibited was unusual. We have encountered many clues along the way. So far, they've pointed us in the right direction. The miners headed in the direction of Nantianmen the day before yesterday. From here, they would have had to navigate a perilous mountain road. If their destination is indeed Nantianmen, we should be able to catch up with them.
Great! No time to lose!
I left a mark in the vicinity just now. If Uncle Dai does pass through here, it should guide him to us.
Clever thinking! A classic Zhongli move!
It was good.
What's the hurry?
You. Hurt.
I'm not done.
Ow.
Hey! Over here on the ground! Is this one of the missing people?
There's a basket lying here, too. This must be one of the miners.
Hey! Hello? Can you hear us?
Judging by his appearance, he must have collapsed from exhaustion.
Should we wake him up?
I can still dig.
Sounds like he's whispering something.
I think he's struggling.
It seems that he thinks he still has work to do. Something's not right. There's a camp nearby. We should take him there and monitor his condition before deciding our next move.
By camp.
How is he? He won't die, right?
He's worked himself into a stupor. Thankfully, he's not in serious danger.
How did he get so exhausted?
I heard him talking about digging for something. Did he dig himself into this state?
It's certainly a possibility.
Strange. Was he brought here?
It looks like there's something in his pocket. Are these ore fragments? I just witnessed the memories within these ore fragments. This person brought these fragments out of the mine. He's one of the 4 that we're searching for.
How he came to be here is what we need to understand.
So he was kidnapped and then abandoned here. But if they didn't need him, why bring him all the way out here?
Unless something happened. Something that led him to fall behind.
Ugh. Paimon's had enough.
Oh, wait a moment. Seeing these fragments has jogged my memory. I have something for you.
What is it?
Something for us?
As I mentioned, before I met Uncle Dai, I was in a daze. After setting out with you on this case, it feels like a fog is lifting. I was so happy when Uncle Dai enlisted you to help. I would never have managed to track down these clues by myself. These are some crystals that I bought from the market. Not any old crystals, mind you. This purity is extraordinarily rare. One for each of you. A memory, if you will.
It's beautiful. Oh, and the colors change as you turn it. It's like a different crystal from each
It's
angle.
expensive. Can't really keep this.
But of course, take it. And this one is for Mr. Shangli. Huh? Is something wrong? Not to your liking?
On the contrary. I just hadn't anticipated receiving a gift during the current circumstances. But thank you. I will take good care of it.
I'm pleased you like them. It's nice to be able to give a gift that others can appreciate. Oh, I see more rocks over there. You should all get some rest. I'm going to scan the surroundings. Perhaps there are more memories to uncover.
You sure like rocks, huh, Kunjun?
Ores are the crystals of the earth, the sediment of time itself. I feel at peace among them. Get some rest and call me when you're ready to set off. I won't be far.
Will be king on
Rest
its own
easy.
right.
I surveyed the area. There's no danger here. Oh, however, there is something I wanted to discuss with you.
Huh? What's with the seriousness all of a sudden?
Traveler, does Dragonfall mean anything to you?
You
Uh-oh.
mean the ore that Kunjun's looking for? What's so special about it?
Dragonfall is an incredibly rare ore used in forging. The majority of regular crystals are formed in high-temperature environments. Dragonfall, on the other hand, is formed as a product of elemental reactions.
Elemental reactions can produce material objects?
Indeed they can. However, only a minority can survive for long periods of time. Dragonfall first emerged in the midst of a great battle, thousands of years ago. Powerful clashes of elemental energy gave birth to elemental crystals. When the fighting ceased, These geological remnants were miraculously preserved.
Cool.
And yet they are crystal creations all the same. Few and far between, relatively unknown. A few hundred years ago, they were virtually mined into obscurity. Why is it then that a citizen of Liyue now wishes to strike upon ore that has long since vanished from the earth?
Yeah, if he knows of its existence, surely he knows all of it's already been mined. Weird. Paimon doesn't get it.
There are those in the mining trade who retain a keen interest in Dragonfall. But for someone like Mr. Kunjun, whose motivations for seeking it are unclear even unto himself, it's practically unheard of.
Perhaps he has ulterior motives.
Ulterior motives?
A conclusion that is presently impossible to reach. We must watch and wait. Don't forget, rescuing those miners is the primary objective. As for anything else, sooner or later the tide will reveal the lie of the land. We're drawing closer to our goal. I believe we should continue to follow this road through. Now that we've found one, the others won't be far away. When you're well rested, call Mr. Kunjun over to us. We still have more investigation ahead. We should ensure this miner is settled here at the camp. Once we've brought this matter to a close, we can return and attend to him. I suggest we leave a note for Uncle Dai. If he does find the camp, he'll know what to do.
I think I'm gonna call the stream here.